Sorry, we were on example number 3. It tells us that if negative 12 over 13 comma y is a point on the unit circle, you can find in quadrant 3, you can find y. There's a couple of ways you can do this. You can use the equation of the circle, x squared plus y squared equals 1. I find the easiest way is to use trigonometry and draw a triangle. Okay, what do we know? The big idea is your x coordinate on the unit circle is cos theta, the y coordinate is sine theta. So if this is in quadrant 3, I can draw a reference angle in quadrant 3. And what do I know about that reference angle? That cos is negative 12 over 13. Which means if I draw the actual triangle, since cos is the adjacent side over the hypotenuse, I'll be able to label that as 12 over 13. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Do you have the extra notes? That is quadrant 4. Thank you. Yeah, that is quadrant 4. That's totally wrong. Let's draw it. Let's draw it in quadrant 3. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'd like to say I did that on purpose, but I just was not thinking for a moment and just drew it in the wrong quadrant. This is quadrant 3. And if this is my reference angle, this is still my adjacent side, 12 here, and this is still my hypotenuse over here. That's better, right? Good. You could do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Anybody know what 13 squared is? Minus 144 is? What's the square root of 25? 5. Good. So this side is 5. So you do 169 minus 144, get 25. Square root of 25 is 5. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. This is 5, 12, 13. And now we need to find y. Well, y is sine of theta. Sine of my reference angle, opposite over hypotenuse, would be 5 over 13. Does it make sense that sine of theta, because it's in quadrant 3, would be negative 5 over 13? This question didn't ask us, right? Read the question. It says find y, so our final answer should have y equals negative 5 over 13. Because that's what the question asked us to find. So a lot of questions, we're going to be drawing triangles in the correct quadrant, labeling the reference angle in the triangle, and then just doing a lot of basic trig to figure things out. So we used the big idea here that we know coordinates are cos comma sine. We then drew the triangle, and we're able to label the sides, figure out that sine of theta, because it's opposite over hypotenuse, would be 5 over 13. In quadrant 3, sine is negative, so we know that y is equal to negative 5 over 13. Question. Is that a point on the unit circle? Red one that I just drew. Okay? It's close because this question said a point on the unit circle. But what do we know about a unit circle? It has a radius of 1. So technically, if this length is 13, my unit circle on this one is just this little circle here. And this point right there happens to be negative 12 over 13, negative 5 over 13. This point down here is negative 12, negative 5. I went over 12, down 5. But proportionally, whether I use the big triangle or a little triangle, it works out to the same. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is start looking at bigger angles. and figuring out what quadrant they're in. I'm going to do this quick because I got some homework for you. So, if you have a calculator and you're asked where's 4,300 degrees, oh, we won't get through it quick. All right, tomorrow.